There's an impressive variety of mounts available in World of Warcraft. Owning a rare or unique mount is a major flex, and players who have earned their fancy rides like to show off. They are obtainable through questing, reputation grinding, dungeons, raids, and certain promotions. Plenty of completionists collect them just so they can say they have the rarest mounts in the game. While some mounts may no longer be obtainable, this does not diminish their rarity. Percentages provided below are from data for Azeroth. Number 8. Time Lost Proto-Drake. Obtained by 8% of players. Rare enemies have been in World of Warcraft since the very beginning. However, it wasn't until Wrath of the Lich King that rare enemies included a mount on their loot table. The Time Lost Proto-Drake is a rare enemy that can be found flying around in the Storm Peaks. If players manage to find and kill it, they are guaranteed to get this rare as a mount. Of course, there is a catch. It is estimated that the Time Lost Proto-Drake respawns every 2 to 8 hours. Not only that, but there are several different areas in the zone where the Time Lost Proto-Drake can spawn, making it difficult to get to before someone else does. To complicate matters further, Time Lost Proto-Drake shares these spawn points with another rare known as Viragosa. So when a rare enemy does spawn, it may not even be the Time Lost Proto-Drake. Number 7. Ultramarine Chiraji Battle Tank. Obtained by 6% of players. When archaeology was added to the game back during Cataclysm, it added a variety of rewards for players to chase after. In addition to boa epics, players could obtain toys, pets, and even mounts. The Ultramarine Chiraji Battle Tank was one of those mounts, and it was a rare artifact that could be obtained in Uldum. The problem with this is that there is several layers of RNG working against players that make getting this mount a long and tedious process. Not only do players need to have a fairly high skill level in archaeology to get dig sites in Uldum, but these aforementioned dig sites rarely show up. On top of that, the Scepter of Ajikir artifact that unlocks this mount is a rare project and players are entirely at the mercy of RNG. Layers of RNG aside, this mount is also rare due to the fact that it is the second Chiraji battle tank that can be used outside the Temple of Onkiraj. Number 6. X45 Heartbreaker. Obtained by 6% of players. This mount has some interesting history, to say the least. It was originally known as the Big Love Rocket and had a suggestive icon. After the Blizzard sexual harassment controversy in 2021, the name of the mount was changed along with the icon in patch 9.1.5. History aside, this mount had an extraordinarily low drop rate when it was first added to the game back during Wrath of the Lich King. The X45 Heartbreaker could only be acquired during the Valentine's Day event in WoW known as Love is in the Air. It is estimated that the drop rate at the time was 1 in 33, which meant it has less than a 1% chance of dropping. On top of that, the event only ran for 2 weeks. If players didn't get the mount during the event, they would have to wait until the next year. The drop rate was dramatically improved with patch 10.0.5. That said, this mount was very difficult to get for over 13 years, which is why so few players have gotten it. Number 5. Gorestrider Gronling. Obtained by 5% of players. Since achievements were first added to WoW during Wrath of the Lich King, there has always been a meta achievement for each raid tier. By completing the achievements listed under that meta achievement, players would earn a special mount to show off that they had gone above and beyond. In order to unlock Glory of the Draenor Raider, players have to complete all 17 achievements for Highmaul and Blackrock Foundry. These achievements are not unlocked by simply defeating the bosses, and players often have to do the boss fights incorrectly or in a non-conventional way to complete them. As such, players hoping to get this mount will need a well-organized team. Even though Warlords of Draenor is no longer relevant content, this can't be soloed since one of the achievements requires 10 players. This kind of coordination against bosses that can be one-shot by one player makes it difficult to obtain the Gorestrider Gronling, let alone any other meta achievement mount.
Make sure if you're enjoying our list to hit that like button and of course subscribe for future content.
Number 4. Beledar's Spawn. Obtained by 4% of players. Rare enemies have been a common part of World of Warcraft since the beginning. Per the occasional tooltip on the loading screen, rare enemies will often have better loot than what players would get from normal enemies. Sometimes, these rare enemies can drop a mount, and this is the case for Beledar's Spawn, which drops a mount with the same name. The tricky part about getting Beledar's Spawn is that players can only obtain it when Beledar's Shadow, essentially nighttime, is active in Hallowfall. At the start of Beledar's Shadow, Beledar's Spawn will appear at one of 20 different locations in Hallowfall. Getting a group and reaching Beladar's spawn before it dies can be tricky, but to complicate matters further, the mount has a low drop rate. Between that and only having one chance per day for the mount, this is one that will take some time for players to get unless they get really lucky. Number 3. Tarragosa's Visage. Obtained by 4% of players. Players who manage to obtain Dragonwrath, Tarragosa's Rest, a legendary star from Cataclysm, can transform into Tarragosa's Visage and fly. Of course, the limitation for this was that you had to have the staff equipped. While Dragonwrath, Tarragosa's Rest was originally a BIS for many caster classes, that was over 12 years ago. As is the nature of an MMORPG like World of Warcraft, all gear eventually gets replaced, even legendary weapons. So, if players really wanted to use this unique-looking mount, they had to either swap weapons back and forth or use a macro. That changed in 10.1 when Blizzard added a quest line for players who obtained Dragonwrath, Tarragosa's Rest. After reaching level 70 and completing the Blue Dragonflight campaign, Collegos will offer a small series of quests for eligible players. Upon completing it, players get the Lingering Echo of Tarragosa, which allows them to transform into Tarragosa's Visage without needing to equip the old legendary staff. This is the second legendary mount in the game, making it a unique and rare mount. Number 2. Mighty Caravan Brutasaur. Obtained by 4% of players. Mounts are often available to players as a gold sink, as there are players who have a ludicrous amount of gold to burn, especially with the WoW token allowing players to legally buy gold. Some early examples of this include the Traveler's Tundra Mammoth, 16,000 to 20,000 gold depending on reputation, and the Grand Expedition Yak, 120,000 gold. The Mighty Caravan Brutasaur takes the cake by being the most expensive item that could be purchased from an NPC. Back when this mount was released during Battle for Azeroth, it cost 5 million gold to purchase. Even with the ability to purchase WoW tokens, not many players have that kind of gold just lying around. Nowadays, the Mighty Caravan Brutasaur occasionally appears at the black market auction house. Naturally, anything valuable like this will start a bidding war. Players who want to get this mount should make sure they are gold capped, 9,999,999 gold, 99 silver, 99 copper at the time of writing, as it is very likely the mount will hit the aforementioned gold cap once the bidding starts. The number of players who have this much gold is astronomically low, which is why a mount that can simply be purchased is so rare. Number 1. Valiance. Obtained by 3% of players. Blizzard has been gradually finding ways to bring back old content that was removed when Cataclysm revamped Azeroth. Between old gear from Zul'Gurub, Naxxramas, and Scarlet Monastery, players can get their hands on old items that have been unobtainable for many years. In some cases, there are even new things for players to find. A good example of this is Valiance, the same mount used by Thane Korthas, one of the 4 horsemen bosses in Naxxramas. Once players have completed the lengthy series of steps to unlock the secrets of Naxxramas, they will be able to obtain Valiance by purchasing a Rotten Delicious, feeding it to Valiance in the military quarter, and then instruct a Resuvius after using a Death Knight understudy to bring the mount to the arena. As is intended, secrets in World of Warcraft are not something that Blizzard promotes as they want the community to discover them. So many players who do not actively engage with community Discord servers or browse places like Wowhead would not necessarily even know that secrets like Valiance are even in the game. As such, not many players have Valiance since the steps to acquire it are not obvious. There are no breadcrumb quests that lead to these secrets either.
Okay, so that's it for today. So if you enjoyed it, punch the like button, comment down below, of course subscribe to the news channel for my Twitter and Instagram links down below. As always, of course, I'll put my TubeBuddy first in the description for YouTube needs, tag titles, thumbnails, all that good stuff. So that's something you need help with, especially like I did. First in the description, download it today. Trust me, you'll wonder how you ever got on with it. And of course, our partner channels, and they hit down below, hit that join button to support myself and the channel, and of course get a huge range of benefits. But greatly appreciated, but of course, you never have to. But if you don't, you have to subscribe and watch the next video, or something might follow you home. You never know, stuff happens. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you all again very soon.